Hey, hi everyone. This is Sai from LetsUpgrade. So let's talk about how to get your certificate. It's very simple. You will see two links in the description. Number one is the place where you have to go and mark your attendance. Marking your attendance tells us like, okay, you are a legit student who have attended this particular session. Link number two is your assignment. This is where your 90% of the priority is. You have to go and submit the assignment that is given to you in this particular session. Once you're done submitting that assignment, we will be evaluating that. We will send you an email. If you get the passing criteria, then only we will give you the certificate on a particular date that is mentioned again in the description. Please check these three things, and this is the way how you will get a certificate from Let's Upgrade. Number one, mark your attendance. Number two, just go ahead and upload your assignment. Check for the email that you have received it, yes or no. What is the feedback that you have received from your trainer? Number three, check on which date the certificates will be released. Thank you. Bye. All the best. Happy learning.
Hi everyone. So welcome to this day 2 session on Node.js Bootcamp. Okay, so in the previous session we covered about the basics of Node.js and the introduction about Node.js and its basic concepts and how to create a simple server using HTTP module that Node.js provides. Okay, so in this session, in today's session, we'll be covering about the event-driven architecture of Node.js and how events play a role in Node.js and how using events you can perform simple actions such as writing something on the console or doing some calculations or whatever. Okay, so after that we'll be covering about the file system module, which helps us to like create new files, read existing files, and do some operations with files using Node.js or JavaScript programming language. Okay, basically. Then introduction to HTTP module. I have already taught you guys about how to create your own HTTP server using the HTTP module. So these are some built-in modules that Node.js provides us. Fine. So after that we'll be using Node.js for our routing purposes. Okay, so let's say like till now we were opening a single route, right, and we were displaying some simple text. So now depending on the different routes that we open, we can serve different type of content on the web page, right? So that is what we are going to do using routing. And then at the end we'll be doing a practical exercise like creating a simple HTTP server to return different pages using your different routes. Let's say for example using slash home slash about all these things. Okay, so this is how this video is going to be. So I hope you guys are excited about it, and so yeah, let's start with it. So let me just quickly open the code that we were doing in the last session, right? So here we are. So we have already like created your server and all. So for now I'll do one thing. I'll remove everything because we are starting afresh today. So let's start. Okay, so very first thing that we are going to do is about the event driven architecture. Okay, so what is an event driven architecture? So let's say you are at a restaurant. Okay, so whenever you give order to the waiter, then only the cooking will start, right? So like similarly events are there. When you will trigger a particular event, then only some action will start. Not without you triggering an event, nothing will start happening automatically. So for that, Node.js has provided us with events by default. So how do we import them? Again, const event emitter is equal to require. So require again to require the inbuilt module. So require and we have events that is provided by Node.js to us. Okay, so now const my emitter. I am creating a new instance of this particular event emitter. New event emitter. Sorry, small new event emitter. Okay, so now what I want to do is like I want to create two things. First I want to like create when a particular event is triggered, then at that time what happens, and when you have to listen at that time what happens. Okay, so first thing that when a particular event, I'll type it, when particular event happens or triggers, then what to do. Okay, so simple English if you try to understand. So my emitter dot on. So on, when a particular thing happens, and the thing I'm, let's say I'm writing it down as ring bell. Okay, so when bell is ringed, what you have to do is, I'm just taking simple variable over here, so name. So you do something console dot log, please call uh, name. Okay, so this is what is going to happen when this particular event is triggered, and the name of the event is what, ring bell. Okay, so now how we can trigger this particular event by uh, uh, like calling this event. So my emitter dot emit, so I want to emit what, I want to emit ring bell, and I want to send some data. The data that I want to send is, let's say, Ashish. Okay, fine. So that's our simplest code for explaining you about the event emitters using Node.js. So now let's quickly try to run this code and let's see what happens. Let's close this and let's run it again. Okay, so you see, we got this particular thing printed on the console, right? So how it happened? Because I emitted this particular event, ring bell was emitted, and this was listening on ring bell. That is why this particular code was executed. So instead of this, let's say I would have used another event, ring phone. I, let's say, ring phone, not ring bell. Okay, then this particular event won't be triggered. Okay, let's see. So you see, nothing happened, nothing got printed this time. Why? Because this particular, like, our event emitter was listening for this particular event only, not for any other event. So this is how you can create your custom events and make Node.js listen for it and do those actions as and when required. Okay, so you just simply pass the name over here, and on that particular event you can call that name. So it's, instead of this, I'll again show you. If I do it ring bell, it will again uh, call your uh, function to please call Ashish. So this is how event emitter works. Quite simple, right? So now coming to the applications of these things. So the applications of these things basically come during like creation of real-time applications, such as your chat applications, or let's say your live notifications in your applications. So let's say you have WhatsApp, okay, WhatsApp, or any particular chat app. So how does that work? So when you and your friend or any of your friends are join WhatsApp, a unique ID is created for them. Okay, so like person one. Okay, unique ID is there. Okay, so similarly for person two, unique ID is there. Okay, okay, then how, like, what happens is, like, a particular event gets created when you chat, right? So a particular event gets created. So and you both get linked to that particular event. Let's say my emitter dot on, and that would be like based on your both your p1 p2 unique id, unique id 1 and 2. Okay, so this would be like some kind of event. Okay, so this can be triggered by any one of you. Okay, and some chat message. Okay, so what will happen, like, it will kind of push this message. Okay, so again it will emit this message on unique id 1. Okay, so my emitter dot emit. Okay, so emit where, to unique id 1. One. Okay, so like here many conditions will be there. If the person 2 has emitted, then it will go to unique id 1. If person 1 has emitted, it will go to unique id 2, and vice versa. Like this it will happen, right? So once it is emitted, then this will emit over here, right? So this is how particularly chat application work using event emitters, right? So like this is a very simple example of an event emitter. Otherwise, like, there are socket.io and web sockets that are available in Node.js, using what we create a socket connection between two people, and this is how chatting happens between them. Okay, yeah, message. Yeah. So this is, I hope you guys understood like what are the event emitters and what is the purpose of using event emitters and how they are useful, right? So this was the very simple example of using event emitters. So now let's move ahead. So I'll come down on this code only. So I'll comment this things out because they were for explanation purposes only. So till here our code works and I'm keeping it as it is. Okay. So now moving ahead, the next thing that we have in our today's curriculum is regarding your HTTP server. Okay. So I've already explained you how to create a basic HTTP server. If you guys don't remember, no problem. I'm writing it again. So const HTTP is equal to require and HTTP. Okay. So HTTP const server is equal to HTTP dot create server, and create server will have request and response. And okay, so depending on the request URL, you will have to send different responses. That we did in the last time also, but today we'll explore more and will show you how to serve different pages on the different request. Okay, so response dot write. So let's say hello again on day 2. That's it. Okay, so that I did, and then response dot end. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So now how to start the server? If you guys don't remember, simple command server.listen the port number. So let's say this time I'm giving 8080. Okay, and simple a callback function. So that is going to simply console.log server started successfully at port 8080. Okay, that's it. Think yeah, that's it. Okay, so our code for our simple HTTP server is ready now. So now let's run it. Okay, so our event emitter code is also running over here. That is why you got this. Otherwise, server started successfully at port 8080. So now let's check. If I go back over here and open port 8080. Okay, so you see we got the message hello again on day 2, right? So how we got this? We got this because we are serving something on our server at this particular port. What we are serving? We are simply serving some text data hello again on day 2. So apart from this, we can like serve other things as well that we'll be covering shortly. Okay, actually I think I missed before starting with HTTP server, we have to cover about the file system module. So let the server run, no problem. So before that, I'll tell you about the file system module and what are the applications of file system, how it helps you to read file, create your own file programmatically using JavaScript by using Node.js. Okay, so for that we need to use const fs is equal to require fs. So fs is nothing but a short form for file system. Okay, file system. So fs. So now if you want to use fs, what you can let me just scroll down and give some space over here. Okay, okay, so fs dot let's say I want to read some file on my system. Let's say I'm going to create a simple text file over here. Let me do one thing on desktop only, right? So what I'm going to do, select a language, text, plain text. Okay, I'm saving it as let's say hello.txt. Okay, hey there, welcome to fs module tutorial. Okay, that's the simple text I saved in this particular file. So now how I will be able to read it? So fs.read file. So we won't be using read file sync. Actually read file sync stands for read file synchronous. So actually synchronous operation is something that will block your entire code. So that is you do not want to do in your production applications. This is something that you can do for experimentation or your simple applications, but not for a production application which many people are using, because you do not want to block the main thread that is executing the code. Otherwise your entire application will be blocked. So that is not something that is suggested. So fs.read file. Okay, so here you want to give the path of the file. So the path is like I can directly give, like since it is in this same desktop only, I can simply give hello.txt. Okay, and then it will be an error first callback, so we'll have error and data. Okay, so we can simply write console.log data. So let's see, this is the simplest code to read the file and print the data on the console. So our code is ready, that's it, 2 3 lines of code. So now let's quickly run it and see what happens. Run it. Okay, so it gave us undefined. So I'll need to check what happens and why it gave us undefined. Basically I missed adding like the file type over here, like how to interpret that file. So basically we'll be making use of UTF-8, like since it's a JavaScript string that will be printing over here, right? So since our file is stored in bytes only, like it's a bytes of data, so it will try to read it as UTF-8. I'm not sure if I'm writing UTF-8 in the correct way. Let's quickly check it. UTF-8. Okay, it's UTF-8, not UTF-8. So UTF-8. Okay, so now let's try. Maybe there might be some syntax error. Okay, still I'm getting it. Let's see what I'm doing wrong. Let's go to the official documentation of um F file system. Okay, so this is the official documentation, and we want to use fs.read file. We want to check fs.read file. Okay, it's UTF-8. Okay, and I used this. That is wrong. Okay, so let's quickly paste it. Okay, so now let's try again. Still I'm getting undefined. This is strange. Let's see. Okay, actually the path of my file was wrong. Actually, I just used slash. I want to go back to the desktop and find the hello.txt over there. So that I just fixed. Okay, so we got the data from our file, right? So now you see the power of Node.js. There was some file on your system. It had some data. So you used Node.js to read the content of that file. So you were able to read there, right? Hey there, welcome to the FS module tutorial. Okay, so you were able to read that and print that data on your console. So instead of printing it on your console, you can also serve it on your server. You can do anything with that data. You can store it in the database, anything. You can do multiple operations. Let's say you have a CSV file or an Excel file with lots of data. You can do certain operations on that. Just save it again and like upload it on your server or anything. Okay, so that is the power of Node.js. It helps you to read the files using JavaScript. So now you are clear with read file. So now let's move ahead with fs.write file. Okay, so let's say I want to create a new file. So I want to create a new file, and the path I'm giving, and let's say new file .txt. So this is the data that this is the file that I want to create, and here the data I want to write some data in this file. So let's say hello world, this data has been written by Node.js. Okay, that's it. So that's it. And then what else we have after this? A simple callback. So I'm writing a simple error callback, and console.log uh, completed. Okay, that's it. So like now before running this code, let's go back to our desktop and see, like there is no file, right? Only hello.txt is there, no other text file is there, right? So now let's quickly start our server and let's see if a file gets formed. Okay, so we got completed, or actually I made a spelling mistakes, that is why we got completed. But now let's go back to our desktop. Okay, so you see new file.txt is here. So if I open it, okay, so hello world, this data has been written by Node.js. So you see, you were able to create a new text file, and the content of it has been written dynamically by Node.js, right? So this is how you create a new file using FS. So this is the capability of FS to read files and to write files, right? So I hope you guys are clear with this thing. So now let's quickly do some error handling as well. Here actually I have directly printed the data on the console, but let's say if you encounter some error, so let's say if error, so at that time what sorry, if error, you simply need to console.log error. okay, and otherwise you can simply log your data. Okay, so similarly here also, if error console.log error. Okay, so always like make sure to do like this only, like in case of an error there should be something to be displayed, otherwise the user will get confused like what happened. Okay, so yeah, that's it about the fs. I hope I have covered everything about how to read file and how to write file using Node.js using the fs module. Okay, so I'll just run it again. Actually, like now the file was already there, so it won't create a duplicate copy. So if I run that also again, it won't create. Okay, so now just let's try, instead of hello.txt, let's make it new file.txt. So it will try to read the content of that. So let's try. So hello world, this data has been written by Node.js. That is getting printed here because the read file is now referring to new file.txt instead of hello.txt. Now I'll do it. Okay, so here there, welcome to fs tutorial. And now let's say I want to rewrite the content of hello.txt. So here instead of new file, I'll give it hello.txt. So the content would be overwritten. Okay, so right now here there, welcome to fs module tutorial is there, right? Let's try. Okay, let's see if our file got overwritten or not. Hello world, this data, it has been overwritten. If I'll run my server again, it will give us the new data. Oh, it's already giving us the new data. Hello world, this data has been written by Node.js. Okay, so that's it. This is how we write file and read file using Node.js using the FS module. Okay, so now moving ahead with our other things that we have for this session. So we have the HTTP module, as I was explaining you. So we have already created a simple server using HTTP module, right? So we can write something. So now let's come to routing using the HTTP module. Okay, so how do we route on different paths? So right now, if I just simply go to localhost 8080, you get hello again on day 2. But now let's say I want to go to home, I want to print some other data on home, and but still you see same data is getting printed on home route also, right? So for different routes, how you can handle different data? So for that, what you can do, http.create server request response. So here I'll remove this and simply check if request.url equal to slash home. Okay, so if request.url slash home, then what you need to do, you need to write res.write, uh, and here you need to write welcome to home page. Okay, so that's it. Then else if request.url equal to slash about, I'll write response.write welcome to about page. Okay, simple text I'm writing, nothing much. Okay, and finally I'm just response.endings to tell that that's it. Okay, so now let's restart our server. Okay, so now if I refresh this, you see you got welcome to home page because our route is slash home. But for our default, we haven't sent anything, we haven't written anything, so nothing will get printed over here. So home, you will get welcome to home page. And similarly for about, we have given something, right? So about, so welcome to about page. Okay, so like this you are sending different data based on the different routes you have. Okay, so that is what we have done. Now moving ahead, okay, so now let's say we want to serve different pages. Like right now we are simply giving some text over here, right? So now let's say we want to serve different pages over here. So how we can do that? So like it's the capacity of Node.js to instead of simply writing some text pages, we can write some HTML content also over here. Okay, it will automatically understand it. So how we can do it? Res.write, and I'll expand this bracket, and inside backticks I am going to write HTML. Okay, so I think you guys are aware about HTML, how to create simple web pages using HTML. Okay, so HTML, then we have a head tag, and inside the head I'll just give some title. Home page. Okay, then we'll come to body. Here we'll use h1 tag. H1 tag closing. Okay, so we have written a simple HTML page over here. So let's see how it performs. So I'll just see. Okay, so now let's refresh. Okay, let's go to home route. Okay, so you see a simple HTML page has been created, right? So instead of this, if you want to write a complicated home page also, it will also work. Okay, so let me show you one example. Okay, so I have one index.html inside. Okay, so this is one, but I want to see if I have integrated the CSS also inside it, or is it separate. Let's quickly check. Okay, CSS is not inside it, it's separate. So let me do one thing. I'll quickly add here only style. Okay, and I'll copy the style.css. I'll copy all this, close this, and I'll paste it over here. Okay, save it. Okay, and I don't want any script to be running. Okay, let it be. Let's see what happens. And I'll copy this. I'll go back over here, and instead of this HTML, I'll paste this entire web page over here. Okay, so now let's try to serve it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so now let's go back and refresh. So you see, we are able to serve this entire web page over here, right? So this is how we do it. Okay, also I remember we can do it using file system also and directly use that file over here, but I'm not able to recall it, but we can check it and obviously do it. So just let's check it how to or let me do one thing. Okay, so let's combine both the things. Okay, so fs.read file. Okay, so dot slash, so on the desktop I had this portfolio web, right? Portfolio web slash index.html. Okay, but I'm not sure this is an HTML file if I need to uh, uh, read it as UTF-8 or not. It's not a simple um, string, but let's see. Not sure about it. Okay, error comma data, and I can simply res dot write data. Okay, and let me just comment this out. Okay, not sure if this is going to work or not. I'm just trying it out. Let's see. Let's go back over here. Okay, no, it gave us an error, it seems. But error has been. Let me close this. Let's open the console and see what we are getting. Yeah, nothing we are getting. Actually, it's not able to understand only. Okay, let's quickly check on web how we can do it. Okay, so let's go to ChatGPT and directly ask it how to read a HTML file. Read HTML file using fs and serve it using HTTP. If I'm doing something wrong, it will just tell us. Okay, so this is our simple HTML. So okay, fs.read file UTF-8 only. Content type text plain. For better performance, fs.create read stream.firebase. Okay, maybe I just need to put this also, or Wait a second, let me see. Fs.read file path. Then just let me make sure if I'm like giving the correct file path or not. So dot slash portfolio web. Inside this we have index.html. Okay, so before that let me just console.log the data as well, so to see if I'm getting the correct data or not. So let me just control C. No, I don't see anything getting printed over here. Let me just remove all these things which are not required for now. Where are all these things? Okay, this I'll remove, and then somewhere I use this fs. Fs. Okay, I just comment it out this as well. Okay, now let's server started successfully, but okay, as I can see, like nothing is happening over here. Okay, 1 minute, I need to refresh this page, then only it will print. Okay, it printed our entire html file, it seems. Okay, so it's printing it, so our path is correct. Rest.write, so what I'm thinking, I'm making a small mistake in rest.write only. So rest.write head 500 context server error, otherwise rest.write head content. Okay, so this is how we'll do it. Okay, so let's go back and do it. So rest.write head 200 and data, rest.end with the data. So now let's restart our server and let's go back and refresh. Okay, no, it gave us an error. Cannot write out after they are sent to the client. Why is it happening? Let me just remove this first of all. Then, okay, I'm using rest.end maybe 2 times. That is why it is happening. Okay, it seems the page is loading this time. Let's see if it is reading and loading or not. Okay, it's a big file it seems, so that is why it is taking such time, or what is happening. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so let's see, for better performance we need to use stream instead of read file, because obviously this will take some time. So create read stream. Okay, read stream index.html dot pipe response. Okay, let's try this. I haven't used this, so I'll have to try it myself. I'll just remove this. Here I'll paste it. Yeah. This code I'll just remove it quickly. Rest.write head fs.create read stream. So read stream, actually the path is incorrect. Let me just fix the path. So dot slash portfolio web slash index.html. Okay. Now let's try if it works or not. Otherwise we'll look. Okay, so it seems it works. Okay, so we are actually, like, it worked for the previous one only. It was taking some time. This time also it is taking some time, it will work. But yeah, actually, like, it's a big web page, right? So fs will take some time to read it and then display it on the screen. So that is why it's taking this much time, since it's a big file. So yeah, or I think I'm doing it correct, right? After this I can do response.end also. 1 minute, and I'll just close this server, because if I'll close this, probably something that came over here after closing. So let's try it again. Let's refresh. Okay, it seems we got into an error, or no. Restore, try it episode. Let's remove this only and then try it again. Refresh the page. Possible scenario is this only, that the file is too large, that is why it is happening. Let's ask this only, what if the file is too large? Because I know, like, if I'll like close the server, right, it will start displaying it. If I'll close the server, yeah, you see the file is being displayed over here. Okay. Okay, so like it says that if the file is too large, you should not use fs.read file because it loads the entire file into the memory. Streams we can use, but again, stream is also taking some time. Okay, anyways, this particular piece of code we can try using stream. Okay, so let's go back over here. This is one more attempt I'm doing into it. Otherwise, the thing is clear to you guys, right? Like how we can display it. So 1 minute, I think I pasted at the wrong place. What I copied, stream is equal to this. Okay, okay, I think from here to here it will be. Just go back over here and I'll paste it over here. I think still I'm making some mistake. Okay. This is the opening, this is the closing one of for this one. For okay, if bracket was missing, right? Then after this our main bracket is there. Okay, so file path again, dot slash portfolio web slash index dot html. Okay, that's it. Now let's try. If it works, then it's fine. Otherwise, let's see. Node.js. Let's refresh our page. Okay. No, it still takes time. Our page is too large. Still takes time, but yeah, anyways it works, right? So yeah, that was it about how can you serve different content on different pages. Okay, so as I told you, like for home page we had served this page. Similarly, uh, else if request.url equal to slash about. And then what we were doing, we were simply res.write, and we were writing again simple html, and inside that I'm simply writing some and body and simply closing html. Okay, and in the body we are writing, hey, this is about page. So again, this I want to keep inside h1 tag. H1 tag. Okay, so similarly, I'll copy this and I'll do else. If any other page is requested, simply uh, page not found. Okay, simple. So now let's try it. Also see if our page has been loaded till now. Not, no, it doesn't load. Okay, so let's close the server and restart it. Okay, so now let's try. I'll refresh this. So for home page this is fine. So now let's go to about. So okay, so this is about page. Let's try some other route. So let's say some random route. Okay, so we got page not found. Okay, so you guys understood, right, like how we are able to serve different kind of pages for different kind of routes using Node.js, right? So this was all about routing using Node.js. Okay, so I hope these things are clear to you. So just to do a quick recap of what we covered in today's session. So first we covered about events, like since event driven architecture of Node.js is there, like Node.js is an event driven runtime environment. So we can have events, and depending on the events we can perform actions. Okay, so Node.js once started, it will keep on listening to events, and whenever an event is triggered, it will perform the particular action that you have defined in that event. Okay, so that was one thing that we covered. The other thing that we covered was about the file system module. So file system module helps you to like create files, read the data from the file. use that data to do certain actions and then save it again, and all those stuff. That is helpful using this year FS file system module. This is also a built-in module. And then the third thing that we covered today is routing using the HTTP modules. Okay, so using the HTTP module, we created a server, and for different routes, we routed the application to different pages. Okay, we showed different pages depending on the different routes that we have. So yeah, that's all that we have covered for today's session. And anything that is left? Okay, I think that is it that we have covered for this session. Okay, so the next session is going to be very interesting, because in that particular session we are going to cover about the actual usage of Node.js basically. So like, how do we make use of Express to create APIs, and like we'll be basically building our own APIs like endpoints, where you will be able to fetch data for different things. So we'll be doing the four important CRUD operations that are there, which are create a particular data in a system, read the data from the system, update the data into the system, and delete the data from the system. So we'll be creating endpoint for all those CRUD and CRUD operations. Okay, so yeah, that would be it, and that would help you to create like connect your front end applications to your back end applications using the API endpoints that you will be creating, right? So I would expect you guys not to miss the next session, as that would be the most important out of these all. So till today we were just building the base for our Node.js, like just explaining you what is Node.js and how it performs internally. But the most important usage of Node.js is to create APIs, REST APIs. So that we'll be doing in our next session by using uh, Express, which is again a npm package that is available. So yeah, thank you so much for attending the session, and I hope you got an idea and you enjoyed it. So I hope to see you guys in the next session.